Hello everybody, this is Rolanda Denny at Rolanda Denny Photography. I am going to do a tutorial on how to create tears in Photoshop CS6. Here I have a picture of the beautiful Kaylee Compton, and I'm just going to use this one as an example. It was on my desktop as a JPEG anyway, so I just pulled it up. So our first step is we're going to come over here and we're going to go to this background layer and we're going to duplicate it by clicking Command J. And then we're going to go down here and we're going to select another blank layer. And we're going to name this blank layer Tears. And then we're going to go over here to our paintbrush. We want to make sure that we're painting on black. And then we want to make sure that our brush is on the harder side. And then we're going to come over here to Kaylee. Hello Kaylee. And we're going to adjust our brush size to the tear size that we want. I'm just going to go like that. Let me back up and make sure that my fill and opacity my flow and opacity are 100%. I'm going to go ahead and click on it like that. And then I'm just going to kind of make a little tear. I know it's probably not the best tear in the world. I'm sure there's somebody else out there that can do it a lot better, but yeah, it's alright. I'm not that type of artist, but alright, now we're going to come over here to our tears layer, and we're going to change our blending mode to screen, and poof, the tear is gone. It totally disappears, but that's okay. It's still there. We just aren't going to see it yet. So now we're going to right click on our tears layer, go to blending options, drop shadow. We're going to take our opacity on our drop shadow down to about, I'm going to say maybe 16%-ish. Eventually, once you kind of get the flow of this stuff, you can kind of adjust them the way that you want them. This is just my technique, so you don't have to go by it. So, and then the distance, I go down quite a bit on it. I go to about 1. And then that's all that we're going to do in the drop shadow layer box. And then we're going to go up here into the inner shadow. And the only thing that we're going to do on this inner shadow is we're going to take the opacity down. We're going to take it down to about, I'm going to go to about 10, 11%. I'm going to 10%. So, and then that's all that you're going to do in this one. And then we're going to go to bevel and emboss. And we're going to take our depth up, and it's all just your eye on which you like. So just kind of play with it to where I like it. So I'm going to stick with that right about there. I'm going to stick with 126%. And we'll just kind of see how that looks when we're done, and then kind of go from there. My size, you can kind of see what it does. When you move the size around, it almost flattens it and squishes it. So you just kind of play with how you want it to look. I'm going to have it about 8, and I'm going to soften it just a smidge. Alright, the next step is we're going to come down here to the gloss contour. I do believe that's how you say that. And we're going to click on this one. Okay. And then we're going to come down here to your shadow mode, and we're going to click on lighten. And voila, there's your tear. Let's see, you can play with these settings. I haven't really messed with this too much. I don't know what it does, but. And then you can go to OK. Now, another step that I usually do is I take my opacity down to about maybe even 30%. And then I kind of have that one little streak that comes out of your eyes. And, you know, when you're doing this, you'll have a picture to where, you know, you have someone that has this really sad, somber look on their face, and then it'll fit really well. This was just a quick image that I grabbed, and you just kind of play around with it until you get the look that you're wanting. I mean, this one's pretty dramatic. You know, I'm going to back it up just a little bit there. But, and you just play with it. You know, you can take your opacity back up here. You can add a big, huge tear right here, which, you know, is pretty dramatic, you know. But, and then you take this back down. You could draw your little wet streak. There's so many things that you can do with this. You know, there's, when someone's crying, you can usually see the water welt up in their eyes. You can add it in here by changing your flow and your opacity and just kind of play with it to make it look like she's got watery eyes. You know, just little things like that, you know. Just play with it, play with your settings. This is kind of a rough example, but it's the general idea, and then you just play with it from there. So, alrighty, that's it. That's how you make tears in Photoshop CS6. Pretty darn simple. So, if anybody has any requests on any tutorials that you would like me to do of my editing for anything, just let me know, and I will definitely do my best to create some for you. But this one is on the tears. Thank you, and have a good day, everybody.